Welcome to Stadium Bets, everybody. Here on Stadium, we have one more game to get through in the entire NFL season. Two shows, one game, all vibes. He's Colby. He's Nate. I'm Ben. Monty is running the sticks. Guys, we have one more game left to talk about in the NFL season. It's the big game, the Super Bowl, the Superb Owl. Guys, how excited are we? Ready? Ready to go?
Yeah, I'm very excited for this game. It's just it's a rematch of 4 years ago, which was a very entertaining game and started kind of the Patrick Mahomes legacy, I would say.
Yeah.
And now the Niners are out for revenge after they've had a lot of close calls, more recently losing in the NFC title game. So really excited for this one. It's a little bit tricky to bet because you could make a case for both sides. But over the next 2 weeks, we'll be figuring out ways to get in on prop bets, because the best part about the Super Bowl is hundreds of props available that are only for the Super Bowl, but you don't see for a normal NFL game. So side and total might be light for us, but I know there's a lot of props that we'll go through. We'll start today, and then we'll have another show next week when a lot more props are available.
Colby, what's the excitement level with this Super Bowl?
I was just about to cut everybody off and be like, is anyone else sad? Because now,
it seems like people are just kind of like, man.
After next Sunday, we actually have to do something with our weekends.
Don't tell me that.
What?
I can't.
I gotta
what
do
am I
something
supposed
on
to
a
do?
Sunday?
I'm fine with it.
I don't know
Honestly,
what we're supposed to do.
I'm fine with it.
It's not even warm out yet. Don't.
Yeah, we can't play pickleball.
Yeah.
I
What are we
mean,
gonna do?
it's been a long season.
Yeah.
We've been doing this since,
But it's
since
coming to an
September. Yeah, I think some rest and relaxation will be great. And then we have March Madness like a few weeks later. So it's nice to, try to recharge the batteries. It was a long season, and come in focused for other sports, because right after March Madness is the Masters and then the NBA playoffs. And then before you know it, we'll be doing summer previews for football. So it's kind of a nice, nice cycle we have
baseball
here.
Money.
Well,
True. We'll use Monty's
right
model
over
in the
baseball.
show. I'm excited. Also, Monty, we should have next week in Iowa. We could bring an Iowa Bet of the Week, and it's just a George Kittle prop maybe. And
Oh,
we'll have
I
you,
like
we'll have
that.
You, we'll have you
That's
make
good
a little
thinking.
Iowa Bet of the Week with a little George Kittle action.
Probably under.
Yeah, probably under. But if it's going to be an Iowa Bet,
Well,
it's
not
Kittle.
because of Kittle being a bad player. It's just he's
George Kittle
used
touchdown.
He's used as anytime touchdown maybe, but I don't want to. George Kittle is used quite a bit as a
He's
blocker.
a blocker.
We saw what
That's
he did
that
against the
Iowa in him.
Lions,
Yeah.
and sometimes the counting stats might be there, but he does have a huge impact on what the 49ers do well, and I'm sure they're going to want to do it in this game against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, let's talk about this game for a little bit. Just some initial thoughts. We want to talk sides, some totals. Just get our initial feelings, because, again, the game's 2 weeks, a week and a half away, and when this recording airs, it'll be a week away. So we'll have one more show to talk about this game. So this is just kind of initial thoughts, initial feelings. Colby, we'll start with you. Let's look at the spread. It's been going back and forth, but right now you can get 49ers laying 1.5, 2 points, and the total's 47.5. But let's start with the side. What side are you feeling, thinking, initial thoughts? What do you like?
What side made me uncomfortable last week?
What side did make you uncomfortable last week?
The Chiefs. Remember my hand.
You were
my
Chiefs?
hands were like this underneath the table.
You were,
And
yeah.
they
Wringing the hands
just
out.
keep
You were scared.
proving everybody wrong. They're the hottest team in football. If you think about it, they were terrible all season long. They just skated through the season and just do. They didn't look good. And then the playoffs started, and they said, "We're still the Chiefs. We're still your younger brother's Chiefs, right, guys? We're still the younger brother's Chiefs."
That's true.
I can't, even if I don't like the Chiefs, but I do like the Chiefs. I think you still have to bet them regardless of how you feel about the 49ers. You don't know what defense is going to show for the 49ers. But are we going to get the second half where they played the Lions, or are we going to get the first half that we got, or the ones before the week before? They haven't looked great. This is a great all-around team, and they do not look good. But the stars come out at the biggest stage, so I wouldn't be shocked if the 49ers actually showed up.
I'm with you there. I mean, I like the Chiefs money line, and I mean we could talk about next week about all the. Yeah, you took it twice. Oh my God.
So
yeah,
I
took it once.
Take 49ers.
Yeah, take the 49ers. I think that, to me, and I talked about this in our betting group chat. I posted it or tweeted it and texted it, and I said, listen, whoever's the underdog in this game is who I'm going to take, just right off the bat, because I do think these teams are very similar. And we've talked about this a little bit off air about how similar styles these teams can play just in terms of offensive ingenuity and defensively. The Chiefs have looked really good, but they've also had some bad moments defensively early on in the season. So you look at how these teams lay out, and as an underdog, I'll take whoever is getting points in a matchup like this, and I'll take plus money.
Are you taking the
to bet
points or
on a
the money
team.
line?
I'm taking the money
Okay.
line, but I'm happy to take the points. But there's a whole history about teams that win the Super Bowl usually cover anyway, so I'll take the money line. I'll take plus money, and I got pretty good value like plus 114. I'm done betting against Patrick Mahomes. I am. I'm simply
how could you
done
ever?
betting against
How
Patrick
could you
Mahomes,
ever?
and I would feel the Chiefs can lose the Super Bowl. But I'll feel okay because I bet on Patrick Mahomes. All the signs point towards him. He's great indoors. He's great against the 49ers. He's awesome as an underdog. This is a guy I just can't bet against anymore. I bet against him in the AFC Championship. I'm not making the same mistake. If I lose doing it, fine. I could keep my head held high, but I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes. I can't do it.
I'm going to be on the other side of this
Contrarian.
one, but it's not
Nate, the
like
49ers
it's nothing
guy.
I've bet yet, and I don't know if I'm going to bet the 49ers money line like with my actual money. I'm still weighing some stuff. I might bet props related to the 49ers playing well, but I kind of want to see what's offered later in the week. As you mentioned, there's a lot to like about the Chiefs, and Colby mentioned how I know they struggled in the regular season, but I still think they were like a pretty good team just for like the Chiefs standards. They weren't that good.
Yeah.
But then what they've done in the playoffs, and I know they beat a Dolphins team that was very banged up and playing in cold weather, but the Dolphins were one of the top teams in the league all season. And then to go to Buffalo and to the Ravens, like this is an amazing path what the Chiefs have done in this playoffs, in the AFC playoffs. And then on top of that, if you beat the 49ers, it'd probably be the most impressive playoff run ever.
This is the
beating-
worst team under team under the Mahomes era, or under.
Probably,
It's probably the worst
receiving core for
offense compared to what
Best
they've had,
defense.
but it might be the best defense.
Yes.
And that's another reason why you kind of like the Chiefs, or you can make a strong case for the Chiefs in this game, especially since the offense has seen improvement. And now with the 49ers, fortunate in their last two games, I would say, against the Packers and Lions, although they were big favorites in this game. So it's a little bit different going from the, touchdown plus role as a favorite, even 10 points against the Packers to basically pick the winner against the Chiefs. But what's keeping me off betting the 49ers right now and liking them is just their defense and some real concerns that we've seen. There's been a lot of talk going into the playoffs about how that unit had opportunities to regress, and they've really looked poor. And I know the Packers only scored 21 points against them, but in the first half, they got to the red zone 3 times, only scored 6 points. And then last week, the Lions had all that early success, and then things didn't go well, but they could have definitely got more points if they were able to convert fourth down conversions. So I have a lot of concerns about this 49ers defense and Steve Wilkes
It says
coordinating
49ers
it.
money line, though. It sounds like you're talking yourself out of this team.
Well, this is what I'm going to go to. So in terms of all that stuff, I mentioned stuff that favors the Chiefs. But you have to think about the price in this game. And just, a few days ago, the Chiefs closed plus 4.5 in Baltimore. And a month before that, this 49ers team was a 6.5 point favorite against the Ravens. I know the Ravens won that game, so you can manually downgrade the 49ers since that day on Christmas Day when they were probably rated top of the market. But now I feel like we thought last week the 49ers could have been at a discount. If you just kind of look at the year-to-date stuff and their full body of work, this is really a discount on the 49ers in terms of the point spread. That doesn't mean they're going to win and cover just because I think there's line value on them, because Patrick Mahomes on the other side, and there's still a little bit of questions about Brock Purdy just because he doesn't have the best pedigree. But I think if you're coming in betting the Chiefs right now, you're not really getting the best price, especially if you were pro Ravens last week or even 2 weeks ago betting, the Bills -3, banged up Bills team that I had a lot of question marks about. So I think maybe the 49ers are being slightly disrespected, not in terms of the betting market, but just in kind of the opinion on them. And I think there could be an opportunity for the 49ers here who, when they have the football and if they stick to the run, and Kyle Shanahan's going to want to stick to the run because that's kind of, how he was brought up and, how he kind of thinks about the game and running the ball against a Chiefs defense that struggles to stop the run. I really do think the 49ers can have some success in this game because we know the Chiefs are better stopping the pass. And last week, the Ravens had a really poor game plan, and I'd expect the 49ers to have a much better game plan in this game.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about. We're going to take a quick break. We have thoughts on the total and more props all coming up next on Stadium Bets. Welcome back to Stadium Bets. We're talking Super Bowl totals now. We were talking sides. Now we're moving on to totals. We have some props. Next week, we're going to have like finalized picks, I think, and more props, more fun novelty props.
My money line's final.
Yeah, we got a lot. Chiefs. Yeah, we have to ride on the Chiefs. But let's talk total, guys. 47.5 is the total. The sides have moved a little bit in this game, but the total hasn't really had much movement. It's under that key number of 49 and 48. We're getting some 47.5s mostly across the board. So I think let's start with Nate. What do you like in this side for total?
Yeah, so I'm looking towards the under in this game. It's probably not going to be the way I play it. I'm going to look for stuff like second half under, maybe live betting the under, because I do think there's an opportunity for this game to be high scoring early on. Kyle Shanahan and Andy Reid are the two of the better game scripters in the NFL. A lot of times in the Super Bowl, I like going early with the slow start, so maybe first quarter unders, first half unders. Bets like second half to be higher scoring than the first half. But I think with these two teams, with the Super Bowl experience that they have, there won't be those nerves that we see sometimes when there's a new team playing in the big game. So I'm looking for maybe this to be an early scoring, maybe even first half over, but then going second half under. So I think the bet I'm going to end up having, which is kind of opposite of what I always do in the Super Bowl, is first half to be higher scorings than the second half, especially because we've seen a lot of struggles from the Chiefs offense in the regular season. And then even last week when we're talking about, the Chiefs offense is playing a lot better. Well, they were held scoreless in the second half in Baltimore. I know the game script was a little different, but I could see a higher scoring first half than second half, and that'll be it's an early candidate for best bet for next week officially. But in terms of the full game total right now, I'm gonna look under in this game. Although I could see them getting out to fast starts, both offenses.
I also have the under. I think kind of what you were saying. The Chiefs offense, for as good as they have been at moments, that second half of the championship game was a little worrisome. And I think a little bit more indicative of how that offense can operate, where it's very boom or bust. And against a team like the 49ers, who we still have questions about their defense, but they still can have their moments. They can get to the quarterback if they really wanted to. And if, Chase Young actually wants to play football, they maybe have a chance to get to Patrick Mahomes a little bit. So I'm leaning more towards these teams feeling each other out early on and running the ball a lot. These are teams that like to run, and I think both these teams' defense know if they want to limit any type of offensive ability, they're going to try to limit chunk plays as much as anything else. So leaning side, and again, Colby and I are going on pure vibes for this. I'm leaning the under on this one.
Vibes episode of Stadium Bets.
You're just feeling each other out.
I'm my vibe.
Yeah.
It's going to be the over. And everything else that I talk about on the show points? Is just basically examples why I like the over. So buckle up, because all my stuff's coming later.
Oh,
I need to jump.
I thought you were doing something now.
All my next three props are basically why I like the over.
Like the sword celebration that defensive backs do in the NFL.
Yeah, it's they're seated in. They strapped in. I thought
they were putting the sword back in.
No, it's like
we got
them
bets.
buckled up. They got them strapped in. I assume that's what that was. I think it's a seatbelt.
Monty doesn't know.
I don't know why
Monty doesn't know what you're talking about.
Monty doesn't watch. He only watches Iowa football. Let's get into some props, guys. We're going to do 49ers props. We're going to do Chiefs props. And we'll start with the 49ers props first. We went through some of the player props that we really like from the 49ers side. Colby, will go right back to you. Start with you. What is a prop that you absolutely love on the 49ers side?
This is a layup. CMC, 2 touchdowns. He's the best player on the 49ers offense, and if they're inside the red zone, I think that he's going to be getting the ball, especially if you guys are saying it's going to be a low-scoring game. So
plus 225.
So, hey, like you guys said,
that's
you guys have
number.
the under, so basically maybe being in the red zone will come at a premium. So
yeah.
But they need to score. Best player is going to be holding the football, and I think this is where they give it to him. I am completely fine with Kyle Juszczyk getting in the way of this prop. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Just bet Kyle Juszczyk. It's like really big number.
It's a big number for his touchdown. His first touchdown was 70-1.
I had it last week. I just sprinkled on it because I always do. And then he came a yard short.
All right, I'm going to go with, for my prop, I'm going to go to the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy, and we're going to use his legs to win some money, over 11.5 on the rushing yards prop for Brock Purdy. Now, I made this bet earlier in the week. Didn't know it was going to be one of the most bet props at a lot of these sports books. So it's a little scary, a little nervous. Yeah, Monty's calling me a loser, which is fair. But I think Brock Purdy can get it done with his legs. And I think because he had, I believe, 48 yards rushing in the game in the NFC Championship, I think this team realized that in order to really open up the San Francisco 49ers offense, you have to use Brock Purdy's legs at least a little bit. And we know how good this Kansas City defense has become. We know that they're good at chasing down quarterbacks. Might see Purdy scramble a little bit more, knowing that that might be a key to success for their offense. So you give me 11, you give me 12. I'll take the over on the Purdy rushing yards all day in this game.
Yeah, you guys were a little bit too positive there, especially since you both.
Well, you're not.
Like,
we went with the stars. You're not.
Touchdowns, overs.
Well, I just want to be a little bit more
negative?
pessimistic, and I always, tend to lean under in terms of these player props, just because overs don't make me feel good. But I'm gonna go under 1.5 receptions for Juwan Jennings. The juice right now is -125. This is something I bet right before the show. I would bet this probably sooner than later because I think the juice will continue to go and towards the under, kind of
the juice
lean towards the under in this one. And I basically, kind of my thought on this game, I want to fade the 49ers receiving props because this matchup calls for a lot of running. If the 49ers are smart, which I think they are because I do respect Kyle Shanahan a lot, it's going to be a big CMC game. A lot of Deebo Samuel running the ball, jet sweeps, short passes. And a player like Jennings, I don't think is going to be on the field a lot if the 49ers go with heavier formations. He's their third wide receiver. He kind of had a higher prop last week because there was questions about Deebo not playing, but Deebo's healthy, ready to go. I think Jennings is just not going to be on the field a lot. And even when he is, I don't know how much they're going to target him if I believe the 49ers are going to play well in this game offensively and run the ball. So under Juwan Jennings receptions.
It's definitely a little negative. That's all right, though. We can go positive. Hopefully we have a positive one. Oh, no, you don't have a positive one for the Chiefs. Let's go. All right, let's go to the Chiefs. Favorite pops on the Kansas City side. We'll go right back to Nate. A little bit of another negative one.
Yeah, this is in the same theme. And actually in the spreadsheet, I had the under receptions 1.5 on this guy, Noah Gray. But I decided to pivot to receiving yards, 13.5 under, just in case he gets like 2 catches for like a couple yards each. So I feel a little bit better about Noah Gray under receiving yards.
Crazy.
And it's another thing with the matchup here where the 49ers, even though they gave up chunks of yards to Sam Laporta last week, they are traditionally good, or this season have been good at stopping tight ends with Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw in the center of the field, kind of covering them. I do believe Kelsey will get kind of his yards just because he's Travis Kelsey in the playoffs in a Super Bowl, definitely elevating his play. But I'm not so sure if Noah Gray is going to be the guy to do well in this matchup. In another situation where maybe the Chiefs are not going to go 2 tight end sets a lot because you can probably gash the 49ers secondary a bit, and you don't want to gash them in the middle of the field because that's where they're very strong. So Noah Gray under receiving yards. I haven't bet this yet. I'll probably wait till next week to see if it ticks up at all and just to make sure I kind of are on the right path in terms of the matchup in this game.
I'm going to go with a bet that is a little bit degenerate because it's just relying on the Kansas City Chiefs' first drive, and it is for the Chiefs to score a point or more on their first drive. So field goal, touchdown, really, are the only 2 ways you can do that. Or, yeah,
so
I don't know if that's how you do it. But yeah, so it's to score an offensive point on their first drive for the Kansas City Chiefs. You can get it at plus money at a lot of places. The Chiefs, I think, because they have been to the Super Bowl before, they know what they're doing. Patrick Mahomes is not going to be fazed by the lights and the cameras and the crowd. I think he's going to be locked in and ready to go, and I think this Chiefs first drive is really going to set the tone for this game, and they're going to march it down. Now, are they going to score a touchdown? I don't know, but I think they can get into field goal range on their first drive. On the road, the Chiefs are a top 10 team in scoring in first quarter points per game. They're 6th overall in first half points per game. This is a team that gets out and gets going right early and right fast. So I'll take Kansas City to score on their first drive at plus money. I like it.
And the 49ers defense has struggled early in games. So
question marks for them. Yeah, absolutely.
You
Colby, what do you like?
Setting me up, aren't you?
Yeah, there you go. Right on
All
play.
right. Travis Kelsey over his receiving yards prop. He's gone over this number in 12 straight playoff games. Thank you, Michael Montgomery, for letting me know this because my notes didn't have that earlier. 12 straight playoff games that dates back to the last time these two faced off in the Super Bowl. Travis Kelsey has also gone over this number prop in the last 2 Super Bowls that they played in and has gone over it in 3 straight games. Oh, duh. Well, 3 straight games this season. That matters. Also, 49ers have allowed this number against Amon St. Brown, Sam Laporta-John, and against Romeo Doubs. So they've allowed this to their number one receiver in every single playoff game this playoff run. And if you're not gonna protect the stars or guard the stars, I'm gonna be betting the over on their prop. Thank you.
That's some heavily researched stuff. That's good job. You've done it. We've got MVP talk for the Super Bowl coming up next. Stadium bets. Welcome back to Stadium Bets, the final segment of our first Super Bowl show. We're gonna have one next week. Don't worry, with even more of our prop bets and novelty bets and everything. But we're gonna do a Super Bowl MVP for this one, and we wanted to make a note. And Nate researched this. In the last 25 Super Bowls, a QB has won MVP 16 times. So with that being known, Nate, who do you like?
Well, since I like the Niners in this game, I have to pick a 49er, and I also think Brock Purdy doesn't have to win this award because there's so many other good players on the 49ers. And my guy, Deebo Samuel, I bet this. He's 35-1 right now. I would take that number. I think it's a really good price for a player that's used in the run game. And I mentioned I expect the 49ers to run the ball a lot of jet sweeps, short passes. I really think this sets up well for Deebo. Plus, there's a narrative with Deebo. He came back healthy, or he was injured in the divisional round, came back, wasn't 100%, but played well last week against the Lions. And if he plays well with that kind of, injury thing in the mind of voters, I do think Deebo could get the nod if he has a good game. So Deebo Samuel, 35-1, Super Bowl MVP.
We love a good narrative, don't we, Colby?
Yeah, it's something about narratives, and
we love a narrative.
The fans, all those fans, they get 20% of the MVP vote for this game. I said vote, but for the vote,
that's a low.
Wouldn't isn't there like an army or a group of people that are going to be watching this game? Oh, the Swifties. So. Give me Big Travis Kelce.
Oh, yeah.
It's a layup. It's a layup. All he has to do is score 2 touchdowns. I like him to score 2 touchdowns as well.
All he has to do.
Take the over on all of his props, because I think our good friend Woj told us that Tom Brady didn't get the MVP in the third one, right?
Yeah.
Deion Branch.
Well, people love new people.
Yeah, you got to get a newbie out there.
People are already sick about Mahomes playing in a Super Bowl game. Yeah. So I'm going to do Travis Kelce as well.
Cue it up.
Put that up there, because we're together on T. Kelce. I think he's been just a narrative. And he's played really well in championship game. And if the Chiefs need to win, they're going to have to go to Travis Kelce.
Safety blanket.
As well. 100%.
And the over
we love it. Absolutely. We'll be back next week. More bets, our finalized Super Bowl bets. Until then, have a good one.